Hey y'all, it's Thursday, December 26th, 2024 at 9:56 p.m. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I go by Chicken, and yeah, if you like the content, you guys can subscribe. I'm so sorry. I have like allergies. Not allergies. Stuffiness. So my nose is a little congested and my eyes are just like, I've been rubbing them a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. I should have done all this before I started the video. So I had made the last video talking about my experience in the healthcare field on a work level and what I did and stuff. I think I explained everything. I don't feel like going back to it, talking about it. This video is more so my experience in the reality of the healthcare field, excluding the work I had to do. More so the environment I had to put, like, that I had gotten exposed to. So first and foremost, I would like to say that I've been only in two and a half different settings. So one setting will be in the hospital and the other setting is in the nursing home. I have not done home health aid in terms of like getting paid, but I had someone whom I privately helped out for that situation, like in that situation. So I was a home health aid for I would like to say, was that 3 months? Oh, I could not live with her. She was crazy. She did not, like, she was very bipolar. I know she had dementia and stuff. And yeah, it was a lot, especially having to work, going to work, and then having to work coming back. So yeah, that's why it was a bit challenging. With that being said, so I guess I can say I have experience in a couple different environments. Mainly the hospital is by far the longest environment I've been in, as well as it being like what I'm more leaning towards. So I went from the hospital to home health for a little bit in a different way. And I had my third experience being in the nursing home. So yeah, anyway, those three. I would like to say that as a CNA, I feel like being in the hospital, your rights are more protected, or just like anybody. I'm not sure like what nurses and doctors go through when they're in different settings, but for sure in the hospital, where it's at, because there's more surveillance, there's more rules and regulations, more cameras. It's not privately institutionalized, it's more, but I wouldn't say it's publicly. It's like, I guess, like, it's just a hospital, like, that's what it is. And because of that, you get like certain benefits that you know, they help you enroll in and stuff, and so do nursing homes as well. However, their plans aren't as great, in my opinion, as the one in the hospital. I also was going to bring up the fact that it feels like queen bee energy while working at the hospital, because it's and at the nursing home, because it's like in the healthcare field it's majority women when it comes to the nurses and the CNAs. There'll be men, but it's more rare to find men in that field. So the environment's just toxic in the nursing home. I personally tried the nursing home. So when I was in the hospital, I had one of my coworkers, my old coworkers. She was like, I don't care if you pay me double what I get paid here. I will never work in the hospital. Like, you can't pay me enough to hurt myself. And in my head I'm like, damn, that's how bad it is. So she probably had experience in there. Boy, was she right, man. So going in there, I felt like even the elderly woman that I would work with at the hospital are more understanding, and they like give more words of wisdom. Whereas in the nursing home, a lot of them, they're just overly stressed. They're just, I mean, not saying that we're not stressed in the hospital, but there's more people that are more understanding and empathetic to your situation, instead of being like jokey all the time, just unserious. I feel like the people at the hospital take their job more serious, because like everything is overall, like you have to do certain things are I feel like everywhere things are tracked like in a timely manner, but I feel like in the hospital it's more tracked because there's more lab work and stuff that needs to be done, and the accessibility with the like lab work office, or like, yeah, the lab work area, and doctors and everything being on site and working 24/7 is just like a thing you have to do to make sure and ensure the patient is like good. Whereas in the nursing home, because they're there for longer, it's just like it's like, oh, okay, I know their schedule. They don't like, because you're used to it, you're not as alert, or because you know certain habits that they do, like it's just like certain things aren't as alerted depending on who is working. I feel like that there's less surveillance in the nursing home, and I'm learning it because it's smaller. It makes sense. In the hospital, we haven't had any big things. Actually, there were things that were out of stock, but I feel like in the nursing home, things are more out of stock. I don't know if funds are an issue, because it's still a business, it's still a company, so it just varies on how their funds are like, I guess. But it's just crazy how like on one of my shifts, like there's no towels to clean anybody, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I had to use like a sheet. Yeah, I was gonna say in the people they give a lot of judgment to you, more so in the nursing home than the hospital. I feel like people in the hospital are a lot more open-minded, and yeah, they could judge you, but in my experience, when I had shared like what I was doing, they weren't trying to dictate my life. They were more like, oh, okay, good for you, keep it up. Like, they're just more positive. I'm not sure why in the nursing home, like when I share those things, It's like some people, like, they're just, the first thing they say is weird stuff. Like, I was asked how old I was. I told the woman my age, and she said that by now I should have a family or like kids. I'm like, woman, you don't even know my situation. It's just awkward. Like, I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just like, yo, what drove you to say that? And, like, why does it matter to you? Plus, you're just a coworker. So it's just like, I don't even feel comfortable sharing regular things due to weird judgments. So now when like I go to work, I would prefer to be a lot more private in terms of like what information I want to give out. I don't trust as much, especially when people like to judge. And it's just like I'm learning that I can't even say simple things, or like I need to be more cautious with saying simple things like my age and all that stuff. Like, it's private information now. It's like no reason to share because it's not helping you help me clean a patient up or put the patient in a wheelchair. Like, that's like the information that you ask that doesn't pay your bills, doesn't help you. So it's just me learning that I don't have to share. And I have seen that because I hold back on myself, they like sharing information. They're very like skeptical and stuff like that because they don't know anything about me. But I prefer just not to share anything because I'm learning that privacy is important when it comes to making decisions in life because of judgment. And when we were younger, they taught us about peer pressure, you know. And I feel like judgment is like peer pressure. Like, you're not enough, you need to do this. And like being a woman, I feel like a lot of us, because I'm not a man, I'm a woman, so I feel like a lot of women get peer pressured to live a certain lifestyle. Like, if a woman didn't want to have kids and just wanted to like live her life, they would judge her and say like stuff. And or like if a woman were to have children young, like they would judge her and like say stuff like, it doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter. But it's just like the environment, just being in it and hearing like judgment 24/7, it's very draining. And on top of that, when you ask for help, they don't help you. With the hospital, the nurses help with diaper change and stuff like that. So it's like night shifts, when I was on shifts, I would always have, like, if a CNA or PCA couldn't help me, I had a nurse that can help me, especially if it's their specific patient, whereas in the hospital, I try to ask a nurse. The nurse is would say she's too busy, and because they have to do the whole floor, like, or a whole side. There's only two of them. Whereas at the hospital, there's only like three, 4 patients, maybe 5, depending if there's a lack of staff or not, that they have to cater to. So I get it. But it's like sometimes like we're all overworked, and it's like that's why I'm like confused. Like like it sounds great working there for the money, but the lack of staff and the lack of motivation to even help each other out due to whatever personal animosity people have towards each other is just strange to me. And then it's just like side hate. Like, I can't be in a hateful environment. It's just really negative, and they think talking crap to each other is like, it makes, like, I don't know, it's just very degrading. I don't like that environment. I didn't get that really when I was working at the hospital. I just did what I had to do, and then I like minded my business. Everybody was in their own like bubble as well. When I had worked, I know there'd be, you know, a few clicks or whatever, but overall, like, everyone was grown and acting like an adult, whereas in the nursing home, a lot of the folks don't act like an adult, and they also been there for years. Some of them been there for a while, some of them haven't, and the same is with the hospital. But overall, I'm noticing that everybody is just like drained from just working, and it's just like, yeah, I'm ready for another chapter because I'm tired of getting injections in my body just so that I can work somewhere when I can make the same amount of money not getting stuff injected into me as well. Like, that's another factor where I just want to like be able to put my health first instead of like putting money before my health. And that's like what I'm coming to an understanding. um yeah, so that's my experience. I'm burnt out from it. um just trying to figure out if I wanted to, yeah, I'm just figuring it out and seeing what other options there are, because healthcare isn't just the only field. At a younger age, when I did look into the healthcare industry, it seemed good and lucrative, because as a young person, you're so preppy and you're so like excited about life, willing to help people, and then a bunch of adversities come and teach and kind of like um show you the reality of things, which kind of makes it more challenging to be so hopeful of something that you've given chances to, and it hasn't shown any improvement, even in the slightest, in the short amount of time that I've experienced, specifically in one of the settings. Whereas the other setting is like, alright, overall, like, I would choose my mental health over just overworking and helping people that don't want to get helped. So, with that being said, thank you for listening. The job doesn't feel rewarding to me, unfortunately. Maybe I need to find a different specialty. Do you guys have experience with that field, the healthcare field, and certain specialties that you've gone into that you had bad experiences elsewhere, but in this particular area, um, you're enjoying it more and it is actually rewarding? Like, I would actually like to try that out. Or I might just completely change the career path due to, you know, just personal reasons and just not seeing that I fit in this area. So, yeah. Thank y'all for listening. I hope that y'all can share your experience. Also with the pay and stuff, it's just a lot. Like, I'm learning that some of these places have good insurance because they are the ones that cause you to get the insurance. So it's like, there's a lot of things that you have to consider and discern, again, what's good or bad for you. And that's what I'm just trying to figure out, where my threshold is. And yeah, so thank y'all for listening again, and I appreciate y'all for just being able to just stay and hear, you know, my experience. And, you know, I'm curious if you guys have experience like that in whatever field you guys are in, and whether or not you're, you know, changing a new leaf or continuing but at a different company, and trying things out, not giving up, you know, because it's okay to give up in something that doesn't serve you, so that you're able to let go and go into something that does serve you and help you grow in a way that's not detrimental to your mental, physical, or emotional health, as all the whole health is important. It's not just physical, where like if you get sick or if you're injured, like you're more than just your flesh, you know. So just taking all that into consideration and being able to like have a balance is important, um you know, in the work field where your stress is manageable. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. um Easier said than done, especially like when certain situations are different, and you know, little roadblocks get in the way, and maneuvering things. So um I hope whatever y'all are going through as well, that um you keep that mustard faith seed, as I am doing so myself. You know, may you be protected on your journey. I would like to be protected on my journey. I am protected on my journey and path, and choosing ways to feel more fulfilled in life and more appreciated at work, or even just like learning and growing. So yeah, have a good night, y'all. Peace out.